Malphite's probably going to go down bot lane. And bot lane, Maokai and Jace are just laning it out there.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to push that in. Of course, they want whoever's going to go bottom next to miss as much CS and experience as possible, on top of maybe getting a few free hits on the turret. Because whoever gets the first turret, I feel like starts to slowly get the momentum in their favor. You know, they're like, yeah, it's kind of the same concept as getting first blood. You know, you feel like your team is performing. You're like, yeah, my team is doing really good. I'm excited. You know, I'm getting more pumped because of them. So, I mean, right now, the blue team obviously has the momentum in their favor because not only are they ahead 5,000 or 500 gold, but yeah.
No, I think the reason why, like, I just noticed the reason why Aatrox is going top instead of helping mid lane a lot or helping Malphite in general is because Malphite doesn't have that new item.
He doesn't.
So Renekton bought it. And if Aatrox goes top, they can just share that CS and still get the gold that they would be getting anyways.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, clearly Renekton does need some help because Kha'Zix is beating him. I mean, he just got the first blood on him. So Kha'Zix actually, wisely enough, picked up a Doran shield, I think first item, which I think is the main reason behind him being able to out-tank Renekton and just even out-damage him.
Yeah, and he also got that first blood, I mean, sorry, not first blood XP, the blue XP.
And he got the blue, yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, he got the blue XP, so he was a whole half level into level 1 before laning phase even started, technically.
Yep. Oh, and bot lane, Malphite's going in on the Jace.
Oh my
Malphite's
god.
still taking a lot of damage, but Jace is almost dead down there in bot lane. They can sit there still though, because Malphite has full HP, or sorry, not Malphite, Maokai has full HP still, so everything's gonna be good. Bot lane, it looks like Caitlyn and Zyra out pushing them. Zyra pushes extremely well in an AD lane, and Caitlyn is obviously a really good
they're going for the dive.
Yeah, they are. And Malphite walking around the turret. Yeah,
the turret's very low. They're going to get a pretty much free turret.
Yeah, that was the plan. I think their plan was just to get Malphite low enough that he can't defend the turret anymore.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. But in retrospect, look at top lane. They're pretty much doing the same thing. Of course, not to the same success, but they're slowly making their way there.
Yep, you're right. Where Renekton seems like he's been out of lane.
No, he's right beside. He's right beside Aatrox.
Great.
Icons are on top of each other.
Okay,
so
so
they got the top turret, so that's a 1-for-1 turret trade so far.
Yeah, and if they get this mid turret, it'll be even better. Obviously, mid turret in the early game is a lot better to have than a bot turret.
Yeah.
So if they get this mid turret and the top turret, it's gonna be extremely good for them. And it looks like they are rotating. Aatrox is trying to stop them out from that blue. Are Caitlyn and Zyra gonna go help him?
I don't know. I mean, I would expect Aatrox and Renekton to start converging into the middle lane and start maybe contesting even Dragon.
Yep.
Because I feel like their team fight potential is better. Once you get level 6, of course, only Malphite and Aatrox are level 6. But Kha'Zix is level 6, so big fight is happening, and he's smashing in for the stun onto the Renekton, and he's about to get obliterated in a matter of seconds. That's 2-0 so far overall in the score for the blue team.
Renekton's really not having a good game right now.
But I mean, we've seen examples of, for example, Darien from M5 or GG. How many times has he went 0-5-0 in lane as maybe a Renekton?
Yep.
But they still come out. He still ends up being tanky. He still serves his purpose, goes in there, soaks up damage, stuns who needs to be stunned, and then they still come out ahead.
You see that a lot from Dyrus too.
Dude,
like Dyrus, everybody seems to think Dyrus like feeds top lane.
Yeah.
But he usually does a 2v1. Dyrus plays champions like Malphite, like Renekton, and he does a 2v1. And he might not do well in game, but he serves his purpose. He soaks up the damage. Renekton's ultimate makes him such a beefy tank, even with no items. So as long as he builds tank now, gets maybe a Sunfire going down or something with HP, then he'll be able to scale.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I mean, looking at the other side, who's 2-0 right now for the blue team?
Yep.
The one person we've learned you don't want fed.
Yep.
Every single game on Kha'Zix, whether he was super fed or even average score, has been doing good. So Caitlyn actually getting engaged by the Maokai. A nice snare by the Zyra, getting the Maokai and the Corki. That's going to completely halt their progress.
Yeah, Zyra's really good at disengaging. I really like the Zyra pick with the Caitlyn. Zyra, just in this team comp in general, she's going to be really useful.
I think Zyra's E is potentially one of the best snares in the game.
Yeah.
Because look at other people that have snares that are ranged. You have Morgana. She can only hit one person. Then you have Lux, who only hits 2 people. Zyra can hit
their whole
any
team.
number.
Exactly.
Which makes her so much better, I feel like.
Yep, and that's why people play her as a support, because as support, you can pretty much get all of the utility you need out of Zyra. Zyra mid lane is still really good. She deals out a lot of damage, but at the same time, you could play other APs that, you know, essentially do the same thing as Zyra would have.
Yeah.
So that's why a lot of people play Zyra as support, because you can just get the utility you need. You just throw out the ultimate, you throw out your E, you throw out everything you can, and then die and get the damage out from the passive.
And I feel like especially now, since the new support meta almost is, it's not even a support, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty much another AP champion now.
Yep.
So if the Zyra is able to build AP, then she'll just be extremely strong.
Oh my god, Kha'Zix does so much damage to Renekton right now. This is not looking good.
We actually took a turret, so that ended up putting the trade in even favor. But you gotta keep in mind, the Kha'Zix is level 8, the Renekton just hit 6.
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't even notice that. So Renekton's only level 6.
Yeah, so he's obviously a bit behind. He's
Wow.
not having the best game.
Okay.
I feel like the reason the Kha'Zix is so high up is because he got 2 kills of
Yep.
experience.
And he's
off of
been
Renekton.
solo the whole time. Aatrox kind of helped out Renekton a little bit, so
exactly.
they do share the XP. I mean, that's one downside of trying to do the 2 top meta, is that you do share the XP. So someone like Kha'Zix, who really benefits off levels and outscaling people,
Yeah.
it'll help him so much.
Yeah, as an assassin, exactly. That's exactly what you want. I mean, he's going to be building just flat damage, and we've seen all the Kha'Zixes so far build a Hydra, and it's been working out pretty well.
Yeah.
He just jumps in there, he W's, he Hydras, he Qs. That's a lot of damage. I mean,
It is a lot of
you
damage.
have to be a tank in order not to die from that.
Yeah, and last game we saw Kha'Zix just sitting bottom that whole game and just trying to split push, which is really good with the Hydra, right?
Yeah.
So they do get this mid turn.
Oh.
Maokai goes in onto
Oh.
Zyra. Zyra's gonna go down, but we see Malphite going in, not taking any damage from that. Oh, Corki's really low right now. Caitlyn's gonna try and pursue this, and so is Aatrox. Their whole team just disengaging though.
So Renekton came to the party a little too late. So he's not able to offer anything to his team right there. I mean, they got a free kill and they backed off. I'm sure quite happy with that one. But I feel like the red team might try to retaliate with the turret here because they feel like, you know, someone just had to back. They're pretty low. The Corki and Maokai are at base. So it's potentially a 4 versus 3 right now. But do they know that, and will they take advantage of that?
And not to mention Aatrox still has his passive up.
Yeah.
So they do have a lot of potential to dive this. Malphite does not have his ulti up. So that's one thing.
If they were going to dive it, I feel like that was the chance, but now they lost it.
So just going to push it back out now. Maokai and Corki coming back with full health, full mana. And Renekton's just going to go back top lane, soak up that XP, try and get the levels back. Because he is extremely behind right now.
Well, compared to the Kha'Zix.
Compared to the Kha'Zix.
So now they're going for the dragon, actually. So they see that Renekton's top. What does Renekton not have? Teleport. He has no way to make it down to this area in a matter of seconds. It'll take him a whole 30 seconds to get down here. They know that. They're like, all right, that's a free dragon for us. And I think the first one of the game, too.
Yep, so blue team is playing really well this game. I guess last game they were sick and tired of getting pushed around
Yeah,
at the
they're
start of the
definitely
game.
showing it now.
And they banned out the right champs. Zyra, though, she is going to get stunned by Annie, and they're going to go in on her, getting the kill.
My goodness.
Oh, that was just...
That was dunk
that
after
was
dunk.
too much.
Everyone's just jumping on her. I mean, Maokai's jumping on her. Jace is jumping on her. Kha'Zix is jumping on her. Tibbers is jumping on her.
Yep.
Everybody wants a piece of that.
They do have a lot of that.
Everyone wants some of that plant.
And they're going to pressure this bot lane. I guess just back off now because their whole team is coming down to defend that. So I don't know, like, what do you think they need to do to get back? It seems like blue team is kind of...
They're getting picked off. It's really that simple. Everyone just seems to be getting picked off in situations that they shouldn't be getting picked off. Like right there, the Zyra. They had nothing warded in their own jungle, while the blue team, as you can see right now, have 2 wards.
Yeah, you're right.
One at the blue and one at the path that's going up to the little forest beside the blue. So the purple team has 0 idea of where they are because they only have 1 ward, which is the one right beside the dragon pit. And that's not enough, especially when they're going to be going through areas like that. So again, they're just getting picked off in situations and areas that I feel like they shouldn't be. And if they stop doing that and maybe start grouping up a bit more, I think they can turn it around. But
yeah, they do potentially have like a really good team fight team.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about that before. They have everything they need. They have the CC. They have everything. And it looks like Renekton's going to try and go on to Kha'Zix, but he just ease away.
But the one thing I'm afraid is that even though we keep saying that they have a good team fight, they need to take advantage of that soon. Because sooner or later, it won't even matter that much. Because, I mean, blue teams isn't that bad. They have that Annie. She's one of the best team fight engagers. So unless they make a move soon, they're really going to start falling behind even harder.
Exactly. So let's just check out the ADs because I'm kind of curious. Corki is at 78 farm right now. Caitlin's at 89. So Caitlin is doing pretty well. And I want to see her build straight into Infinity Edge. I don't know if that's going to happen, but since she's behind, she did buy the full boots. And usually if you go Bloodthirster after that, sometimes it is a good choice, but I really think that if she built an Infinity Edge, they would have a lot of damage coming out from Caitlin.
Yeah, another reason I think a lot of Caitlins like to get the boots too for the Zerkers really fast is because of her passive.
Yeah.
You can proc that more often, and that's a lot of, like you said, you know, in the late game, that's the only thing that Caitlyn brings in terms of hyper carry, her passive. It does a lot of damage, and you want to proc it as much as you can. So the Malphite is putting a few Qs onto the Maokai, but I mean, Maokai is pretty tanky. He's going to be able to take quite a bit of those before he becomes scared. Meanwhile, Kha'Zix is kind of in his own zone at the top lane, and he might get a turret and pretty much turn this into a favor for his team and be up by one turret, even though they're already up by so much gold.
Exactly, and like I was saying, Kha'Zix last game, that's all he did. He just split push bot lane until he got the first tier turret, and that's exactly what you see right now happening in Kha'Zix.
Vice versa.
No one has, exactly, vice versa on the other team. No one really has an answer to Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix could probably 1v1 anyone on their team right now.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, maybe Malphite can soak up the damage and get away, but there's no way a Malphite will kill him, though.
Yeah, either way, he's getting the turret.
Yeah.
So top lane right now, and the fight is going down. Renekton ulties, but he's just taking way too much damage from Kha'Zix and not dealing enough back out. And he jumps in onto it, flashes in for the Q, and gets out with the reset. Perfect play.
Senpai. That was a really good kill. I gotta admit. Oh, they're going in straight for this one, but oh, it's not gonna be enough. The Corki did show up to poop on the parade, so they're not gonna be able to pick up that Jace whatsoever. But I like that Kha'Zix pickup. He's really making use of that jump, waiting for the scenario of when he really has to use it in gap close. For example, Renekton flashes away, no problem. I have a jump that's potentially farther range than your flash. So I'm gonna follow you up, I'm gonna kill you. I know I'm in the turret, I know you can stun me, but if I kill you, I can jump out. Malphite jumping in, and a really nice follow by the Zara. The anti-ulti coming down to try and stun some people, but it's not gonna do anything. And I mean, the Jace, he was already low, but he just got obliterated there.
Yeah, it's a good pickoff, and we're going to see if they can take advantage of that. If they're going to keep pushing, it might be the best choice right now. Kha'Zix is top lane, but Renekton's there to deal with it. As we saw, Kha'Zix did 1v1 Renekton, but I feel like if Renekton's at his turret, he can still defend it through the Kha'Zix first. Kha'Zix is not someone who will just dive a turret like that, but he can dive him if he's not at the turret, and Kha'Zix gets stunned, and Renekton is just going to walk out of that. So,
yeah, I don't know if this Renekton can deal with this Kha'Zix, I'll be honest.
I don't think so.
One thing I'm noticing, as someone that enjoys playing assassins like Kha'Zix and Zed, neither Kha'Zix has gotten boots. At least not in the early stages.
Yeah,
They've all rushed the Hydra before getting anything else. Which is a very interesting thing. And it makes sense, especially for Kha'Zix. Because he has the jump, so to him, boots, it's kind of like a Riven. They don't need boots. They have their own movement speed, some sort of movement speed steroid, whether it's Riven's Q to dash forward, or Kha'Zix's jump. Which makes perfect sense, and now he obviously has the boots, but that's a really interesting thing, and I feel like a lot of people can learn from that.
Yeah, and his plan this whole game, I mean, he was top lane, so his plan this whole game was just the split push anyways.
Yeah.
So he doesn't really need boots. Like, he's not roaming to get kills, he's just gonna sit top lane, and as you said, his E just offers him so much mobility that he doesn't really need boots like that. The Hydra was priority. Hydra is something that Kha'Zix, after they nerfed that W, he doesn't have the insane push power that he used to have. So getting that Hydra just gives him that insane push power.
Yeah, for sure. I agree 100%. And another thing, like you said, since he's going to be top, he doesn't need boost to escape. The reason he doesn't need boost to escape is because anyone that comes up there to fight him or to stop him, he's just going to fight them.
Exactly. He doesn't need to
I'll just fight you. I'm not scared of you. I'm going straight damage. I don't care what you have. Unless you have friends with you, I don't care who you are. I will fight you and I will probably beat you.
And then if they bring friends with them, then they can just respond somewhere else.
Like Dragon or bottom turret or middle turret.
Oh, and then Maokai dove in onto the Zyra, and she just gets obliterated.
So this Kha'Zix, man, every single game, Kha'Zix is just doing work, man. I feel like he's potentially ban-worthy next game.
Oh, for sure. Because both teams could pick him up.
Yeah.
So, and both teams, they did really well. So I think they're going to have to either ban him or first pick him.
Interestingly enough, though, we're saying how important he is, but he's not being first picked anywhere. He's getting picked in the middle.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's interesting.
But maybe they'll change their play after this. Who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean...
And usually it's the team surrounding that champion, but I really think that the Kha'Zix is just doing this on his own. Like
Yeah, he is.
last game, it was kind of arguable that Kha'Zix was getting help, but this game, Kha'Zix is doing everything he's doing right now alone.